So here are some points that I want you to think about between now and our next session, based off of the things that we discussed in the last session. I think the overarching point, right, the takeaway for you to think about is, what are you going to be driven by? Are you going to be driven by your goals, or are you going to be driven by your emotions? And like I said, the way to determine which one you're going to be driven by is to look at what you do. Look at what you think, feel, say, and do. Right? Like, what you do will give you insight to determine if your goals are driving you, meaning your long-term goals, not these short-term goals of instant gratification. Or is it your emotions? Right, because that's the latter. That's that short-term goal. Right, I don't like how I feel, so how can I get rid of this emotion? How can I get rid of this discomfort? Right, that discomfort of being alone. And, the discomfort of getting what you want. Right, and the anxiety of keeping it. The fear of losing it. Right, those are emotions. So it's how do you cope with that discomfort? How are you dealing with those emotions? One of the ways in which you're dealing with it is through substances, drinking and smoking. And so, which one is it going to be? Are you going to be driven by your goals, or are you going to be driven by your emotions? And being driven by your goals doesn't mean that the uncomfortable emotions won't be there, right? And that's the point that I made in the session, and I think this is a critical point for you to really get. Like, the uncomfortable emotions will be there as you pursue your goals. Right? It just means that you decide to address those emotions in different ways, in constructive ways, which is in alignment with your goals, right? That allows you to move towards your goals. And I think, from our discussions, what I think you're seeing is that being driven by emotions can lead you to act in a manner that is immobilizing. Right? It gets you stuck. And maybe not in all areas of your life, but in some areas, you acknowledge you're stuck. You start compromising on your goals. And that leads you to a point of shifting, right? Shifting either the goal or what you think, feel, say, and do. Whether you formally acknowledge that or not, that's essentially what happens. Right? Like, one of the things that you're doing is deciding to cope with substances and then rationalizing it. Hence, shifting what you think, feel, say, and do. Right? One of the ways that came up in the session is when you said, I'm not messing up so badly. Professionally, things are going great, better than ever. You're hitting that mark professionally. I get it. But that's only one of your goals. This is not me, this is according to you. One of your other goals, though, are religious goals. So where are things at religiously in terms of your goals? What is it costing you in terms of that realm? Technically, you can't approach your Lord in prayer if you're not sober. Right? And prayer is required. It's a goal. Yet not being sober inhibits you from fulfilling that goal. It inhibits you from living in alignment with that goal. To be purpose-driven, to be goal-oriented. So by dealing with the discomfort and coping with the discomfort with the substance, it gets you stuck and immobilizes you from moving towards your religious goals. The question becomes again, do you want to continue to pay that cost? The cost of not being able to approach your Lord in prayer while intoxicated. To not be able, while intoxicated, to fulfill that religious goal. And do you want to pay that cost during this time? Like that's the other piece here. Like during this blessed month of Shabbat. And during the blessed month of Ramadan. Is this what the cost you're willing to pay? Do you want to pay that cost? And is it truly worth it? Right? Like we know, like Rajab and Shaban are the months that we plant those seeds and prepare for this opportunity that's Ramadan. You've already paid the cost of not maximizing the month of Rajab. Do you want to continue to pay that cost into Shaban? And carrying those habits into Ramadan? Is that worth it? Or is it better to invest in learning a modality to be able to manage the discomfort that comes with being alone or the discomfort that comes with getting what you want, right? That anxiety and that fear of losing it, maintaining it. Right? That emotion of fear and anxiety is real. I get it. But you can learn a modality to deal with those discomforting emotions as a healthy alternative than defaulting to the substance use.